I've made more than 10 minutes of footage and I don't get to show all of it to you. What are you missing out on? What haven't you seen that I've decided to leave out that could be important and couldn't be important to you? Don't think because you're the viewer and I'm giving you the information I'm going to give you all of it. That's not gonna happen. It seems, whenever you think of something to write or to do or to photograph or to film, as soon as you want to capture that one moment, it disappears. Okay, so Alice in Wonderland is all about how one little girl is trying to muddle her way through this unknown land. And I personally think that life is exactly the same. You might be thinking why that is, but I think it's because one moment you find yourself in one place and in the next you find yourself in another.
Even if you find yourselves a couple of steps more forward or a couple of steps more backwards, you always end up in a different place. All the time. You never know what's going to happen. I personally think we have Alice in all of ourselves. We're all that curious person wondering where things are going to take us next. We may not be in this really weird, messed up dream induced by drugs, but life is pretty crazy just as it is without any extra bits thrown into the mix. I feel lost.
I feel like I'm in a bit of a rut when it comes to my work. In one instance, I feel as if I'm actually achieving something and I'm producing some good work for a change. Maybe I'm just taking it the wrong way, but I almost feel like last week I was okay, and this week I'm not. I felt like I was starting to achieve something, but I then feel sort of disheartened with the realisation that I've got so much more to add to what I'm doing. I kind of feel similar to how I'm making Alice feel in my pictures. As a side note, I do feel like I'm talking more about my project now, which is a good thing. That's what I'm meant to be talking about. I'm meant to be talking about Alice and how I feel about it. And I do feel like I'm starting to get there with that, like I'm getting there with the pictures. I'm just hoping that I actually do get there. Where is even there? Where is there? I could probably go into a long talk about how me getting there is like Alice getting out or finding her way through Wonderland, and I'm just going to keep doing that.
Ah, that was it. I feel trapped right now. Right now I feel very trapped. In the images I've been creating, I think you may have seen them earlier, and if you haven't, you'll just have to rewind and go back to see it again. But in some of the images, I have trapped Alice, and she's trying to escape through the picture frame. If you didn't know, picture frame is my version of Wonderland. Instead of through the looking glass, it's through the picture frame. Do you see what I did there? But I have trapped Alice. Well, myself as Alice in the picture frame, and she's trying to either get into Wonderland or get out, and I feel very much like how I made her feel in the pictures. Call that coincidence, but I actually do. because of how I'm struggling with pretty much all my work right now, I feel very much like Alice in how I have made her feel. Is there such a thing as artistic karma?
No, you just appear in places from one place to the other, and so it makes reading it quite hard.
Oh my god, that wind is so annoying!
You're not making it into my project, sorry.
Yeah, no, well, kinda, maybe.
But...
Oh yeah, no, sorry, not that famous. It's a nice story, and it just represents the childhood curiosity of us all.
Okay, so my personal reflection on what I have captured today is that Wonderland isn't just about this notion of sexual desire and drugs and hallucinations, but it could just be simply about a little girl who has a crazy dream. I mean, she's not the first person in the world to have crazy dreams where everything seems far too bizarre. I have them all the time. I'm always having crazy dreams where I wake up and go, that felt oddly real and extremely surreal and, for lack of a better word or phrase, what the fuck, basically. It's fiction. It's just a story about dreams. I have them all the time. I'm always having crazy dreams where I wake up and go, that felt oddly real and extremely surreal, and
sort of disheartened
this really weird, messed up dream just by drugs. But
realization
life is
that
pretty crazy
I've
just
got
as it is, without any
so
extra
much
bits
more
thrown into the mix. I
to add
feel lost.
to what I'm doing. Of teenagers,
Don't think because you're the viewer and I'm giving you the information, I'm going to give you.
Okay,
Just
so when asking
fiction.
what is a
It's just a
documentary
story
and what is the
about
conventional way of making one, I
if
think
you find
it's
yourselves
exactly the same
a
as
couple of
asking how
steps more
far does the
forward or a
rabbit hole
couple of
go.
steps more
I
backwards,
mean,
you always
Alice could
end
have
up in a
kept on
different
falling
place.
and falling down it, and
All the time.
similarly, she could have
You
kept
never
on
know what's
wandering
gonna
through
happen.
Wonderland, and it never Alice ending. in But of course,
Wonderland
she
is
woke up when
all
the Red
about
Queen started to chase
how
her.
one little girl
So naturally, you'd wake
is
up from
trying
something like that.
to muddle her way
But
through
what if that
this
hadn't
unknown
have
land.
happened? What if she just kept on walking
And
through Wonderland? Could she have stayed there
personally
forever, just in
think
a dream
that
or this drugged state?
Life is exactly
I
the
don't
same.
know. So when asking the question, how far does the rabbit hole really go, it makes me want to find out.